Hey, it's me, JoJo again. This one is going to be a bit different. The last ones have been like a topic spanning over different things, and then each one is a different topic. This one is going to be me going over a bunch of different topics under one spectrum of things. As you can see from the title, it is my own worst, or I am my own worst enemy. It means a lot, different things to me. So it's something I realized the other day when I was thinking about it. What was like the main causing factor of like stress and destruction in my life? And a lot of things came to mind, and almost all of them revolved around me. So something I wrote so far was, I am definitely my own worst enemy. I've pissed off people for sure, and there's no shortage of people that hate me in the world. But the people that have tried to ruin my life or make it hard is a very small number, which is very surprising to me. Like, I've pissed off a lot of people. Probably to the point that I can count the number on one hand, referring to the amount of people that have tried to ruin my life. One is myself, which is the most on that. Let's see. In fact, I have hurt some people to the point of breaking. They are so much better than me. Stabbed a dagger, not necessarily on purpose every time. I don't beat myself up over stabbing that initial dagger and causing pain to others, because I've beat myself up over a lot of things already, which we'll get into later. But I've learned not to beat myself up over that. That I don't beat myself up over. It's that I can't stand it, and I worded this way wrong when I wrote it, but I can't stand it when I end up twisting the blade. Maybe that initial push, maybe it was an accident, I didn't know. But then my first thing to do is to immediately cause more pain. Once I feel pain, I gotta cause that pain onto others even more. Is basically what that analogy is getting at. They don't try to ruin my life. The people I like close to me are ones that can take beatings that I give. I'm self-destructive to a fault, to the point that everyone close to me knows that. I beat myself up for it, and it makes me want to suffer more, which just feeds into the self-destruction. So one of the topics I'm going to talk about in another one is my self-destructive habits, and how self-destructive I am. And how it just leads in a vicious cycle. Another one is the people around me. I'm very particular about the people I like close to me, to the point of I don't count acquaintances as close friends normally. I don't know, I keep them at an arm's distance. And lately I've been counting more people as friends than I wouldn't have in the past. Just because I'm trying to change that aspect of my life, because I don't want to be the same mentally abusive person. Like, so, for example, 2 of my exes, I've had like 4 technically, I don't know, but 2 of my exes, I have hurt, oh, I guess technically 3 of them, I have hurt really badly. All of them I broke up with. I recently felt what it's like to be broken up with, and boy was that a doozy. I believe my last one went over something like that. But I tore them down. Like, once I started feeling terrible, I did my best to tear them down. One of them I realized wasn't the perfection that I let myself believe. My thoughts, my idea of her was not what it actually was, and I realized that, and destroyed me, which fed into another one that I destroyed. And like, the thing is, like, those people that I've hurt so much, I would give my credit card number, I would give all of my personal info to them, and trust them not to mess me over. That's just how much I trust those that I actually allow in close to me, because I allow those that are better than me close to me. It's I don't know. I guess so I can let out my unrelenting abusiveness. Who knows? I'm a terrible person at that, which I'll get into more so in another one. So self-destructiveness, um, the damaging other people, planning. So one thing that I have not diagnosed or anything like that, it's just something I've realized is how obsessive I am about things. And I recall to the point of when I was younger, I obsessively thought of one chick that I was into. I was socially inept due to various reasons, and I couldn't bring myself to like actually talk to them. Like everything I said was like gibberish. Like I would tell them a part of the conversation that I had with them in my head, and so like it was a disaster. But one of the key things was that if say like my brother, he would jab and like, oh yeah, she's probably having sex with so and so, to the point of like just mentioning of them having sex with somebody else, like it drove me insane. And thinking about that objectively is like that's stupid. You can't let something like that bother you. Like one, you don't control other people, but like I couldn't stop myself from obsessing about it. It was something that maybe was in my control, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. This was a long time ago, but it's not the only example of that. Like, um, there's different things don't come to mind right now. I didn't do much prep for this, especially because the obsessiveness is just its own topic. Um, so obsessiveness, we got self-destructiveness, uh, and hurting others, um, and then living in the past. Living in the past is a big one. So we got 4 so far. So living in the past is something that I've started calling it chasing my own shadow. I think there was a song I heard that made me come to this like realization was I've been chasing different mindsets I was in. It's like for me, a year ago before this, I was in a terrible spot at the beginning of that year, and then I felt like I hit the bottom of the hole. I felt like there was no further I can get. I was looking up at the top, and I realized if there is further down, I don't want to feel it. I don't want to experience that further down in this hole. I hope this is the bottom. And so I decided, okay, I'm just not going to look down. I'm just going to look up and continue climbing up. And because of that, that was the best summer of my life. I had a good job that allowed me to do anything I wanted because I was getting paid a lot of money. And so with that came confidence. And I took that confidence as progress. And the past several months I've been looking towards that. Like, okay, I want to get back to that mindset, which terrible. Even if past you was better, still not as good as who you are now because it's behind you. It's already happened. It means it's part of you, which means you've gone through some other stuff and changed a bit. You can't long to be how you were. You gotta long for who you're going to be, who you are. And living in the past is something that, like, there's several examples, which I'm not going to get into now. I'll delve in deeper whenever I go over that one. But it is what it is on that, and it affects me, and a bunch of these tie into each other, like the self-destructiveness and hurting other people. Those go hand in hand. Like I burn bridges with people. Letting go of things. I guess that ties into the past. Now, I'm not sure if I'll entitle it to its own chapter. I guess it depends on how much I'm able to write ahead of time and think ahead of time on these. Because the last few ones, the first 2 were like, okay, these are based off something I wrote in the past. And I thought I'd do that for a lot because I have like 12 different documents on my computer for different topics. And then I realized how stupid these were. Like, I don't want to talk about these again because I don't have the same point of view anymore. They're utterly wrong. So yeah, so like the living in the past and the past mistakes and all that, like it all layers. It is why I define myself as my own worst enemy, because, like I stated earlier, I've heard a lot of people. Very few people are out to get me in life. I think I'm the person most out to get me in life because I just want myself to suffer. I don't want myself to suffer anymore, which is like a terrible thing to like reach of like, well, crap. I don't know how to not make myself suffer. I know how to be happy. Like, I'm no longer trapped in a hole where I can't feel happiness. I know what happiness feels like. I can be happy. I don't know how to not self-destruct though. That's a conundrum for me. It's quite the head scratcher. But so yeah, that's pretty much the outline for these next few to come. I just wanted to like have the first preface of like, oh yeah, this is what the next ones are. Here's a little tidbits of these. That's pretty much it. So I'm not sure how I ended the last one, so I think I'm just gonna end it right there. All right, see ya.